Hello everyone. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to interact with components in Angular. It is very useful to know how to interact with components in Angular because most Angular projects we use components. As an example, in this project we use three components. You can see we could have used one component for this, but using separate components make things easier, and we have to pass data between these components. So let me show you what I'm going to cover in this tutorial video. I'm going to cover three ways to interact with components. First, the input decorator, and second one is output decorator, and I'm going to talk about what is services and how to use the services. First, in input, you can see in this graph, you can when you use input decorator, you can get data from the parent component. I will describe what does this mean with the example. And also in the output, we can get the values from the output decorator defined component, and also we need to use objects like event emitter, and also the services. The services are basically a class. We can use it in the component. And also in this tutorial I'm going to show you few tricks when you using Angular. These tricks will help you to make a better project. So let us start. First, I'm going to create a project. I'm going to create a project in my Angular folder. You probably know this, how to create a new Angular project. I'm going to create a sample. I think you already know how to do this because I'm not going to cover these steps in this tutorial. I hope you guys know the basics of Angular because you need it. So I'm going to fast forward to the project. Okay guys, in this tutorial I'm going to use WebStorm IDE, or you can use any IDE you want, or a text editor, VS Code. Like, I'm going to use WebStorm, so I hope that won't bother you. Before I start this project, I'm going to import bootstrap files and jQuery files to my project. Yeah, I'm going to get these packages with this command. I'm not going to execute this command. I already executed. I hope you guys know this. And also I need to add jQuery here, and after this done, you need to add this added jQuery and bootstrap files in Angular JSON file, because we need to use it global like this. In here I imported these files, and also I'm going to add here. Okay guys, after that done, we can use a bootstrap and Bootstrap and jQuery functions anywhere in the project. So I'm going to start the project coding now. Before I do that, I need to get components. You already know how to generate components, I hope. You can do it manually in here, add and components, or you can simply give a command like you can give a command. In here I'm going to get a component because in this tutorial I'm going to first show you how to use input decorator. So I'm going to generate component server details. You can use any name as you like, not a problem. I hope you know how to generate a component. So the component is generated. If you do it manually, I hope you know this, you need to import in here in app module ts. So first I'm going to show you how to use input decorator. Before use input decorator, the server detail component I made, it is the child component I'm going to use. So I'm going to get the data from the parent component to the child component. That's why I'm using input decorator. So let's see how does that work. So I'm going to take the app component HTML, and I'm going to make some use some styles we got from Bootstrap. I hope you guys know this. You can use anything. That's only Bootstrap files classes. And then I'm going to get a label. I say server name, and also an input field to get the data. And I'm going to give a style class. It's not essential, you can use it or not, that's entirely up to you. And I'm going to get the we don't need this spec file, so you can go ahead and delete this file. And I'm going to get the server detail component HTML, and I'm going to get the TS file also, and I'm going to declare a property name server value. Yes. Okay, we just need to see this project works or not. Then I'm going to give, I hope you guys know what is the property binding. I'm going to bind the property for I'm going to get the value of server value in here. This is property binding. I hope you guys know this. and I have to import this HTML tag in app component HTML. This should do it, and I'm going to open a server to run this Angular project. I'm sorry, this app server details. Then I can use this server Angular made for us to view the project we created. Okay, there's a small mistake. So you can see our project is working and the bootstrap and all, and you can see server name and text field we got from the parent component. Also you can say app component HTML, and this yes we got from child component, a server detail. So I'm going to get back to server details. Then I'm going to use input decorator in the child component. I'm going to create a value. I say a title. I'm going to give a data type string, and I'm going to make it as an input variable. Make sure to use these syntaxes correctly, and also I have to import this from Angular core package. Okay, with that done, I can input a value for title in parent component. So I can get this title from here, and I'm going to assign a value from val. What is this val? I'm going to define it. Before that, in this input text field, I'm going to handle the input. In here I'm going to give a get the I say title function. The title function we still not define it. To get the value in this input field, I'm going to give event dot target dot value. This will take the current value of this text field, and I'm going to use this get title in app component TS. I'm going to define this function, also passing a parenthesis string. Still not define what is val variable. Okay, and I'm going to define it here. So this dot val equal to str. Okay. Okay, and here is fix, and okay, now it's ready. In here we pass the data in from this input text field to get title function and declare a value to val variable and send it to the child component, and child component can get that value using input decorator. And I'm going to use this title. Now title is defined in here. Now this should work. We type something. Yes, it is working. Yeah, that is the input decorator. Okay, let's us look at what is the output decorator. In here I'm going to take a new terminal and make another component, server data something, and I'm going to get this data component here, and once and for all delete this spec file, sorry. And when using output decorator, we need to as for here we getting data from the child component. So in here child component is server data component. So in here I'm going to get getting a decorator here. So I'm going to get the value. I'm going to give another one, title, let's say title 2. I'm going to get a new, this is very important guys, event emitter. We need to add this, import this class from the Angular code, and we need to give generics. I'm going to give string because I'm going to output a string, and also we need to give the decorator output. And also these syntaxes are very you need to use these syntaxes very carefully. We need to import output decorator from the Angular core. So I told you we're going to output data, so in the child component have to contain the text field. So I'm going to add a text field in here. Let's say a label server name, server name 2, let's say, and input field as well. And also I'm going to get the value from here as I did in the last one, event value. We should do it and assign this value to a variable. Okay, this is very important. I'm going to handle this get title to function in here because I need to get the value from it. Parenthesis. I'm going to have to emit this value to title 2. So I'm going to emit this this. First I have to get the title to and emit the value. What is the value? Str. Okay, now it's done. I'm getting the data from the child component and I can use it in here. I'm going to add that component in the parent component or app component server data. I have to use it as a event. As you can see, these curve brackets are indicating events and these brackets are indicating properties. So this is a event. So I'm going to give another function and get the event data that passing from title to event, and I can declare this function in a component ts file in here and say str, let's say 2, and declare another property val 2, and also I'm gonna pass this value to value 2. Then I can use this value 2 in my app component HTML. Hopefully, let's say use a tag h2 property binding. Okay, no errors. Now we have this from the first input decorator. Using input decorator, it still works, and this, it works. See, we are getting data from the output in here. We are outputting data in here and inputting data in the first one. So now I have to show you what is services. Services is more like a class. You are you maybe familiar with programming. You'll use a class to declare functions, and you can make an object and use those functions, right? The same concept used in here. You can make a service as a class in here. Then you can use it from declaring an instance and making an object. But that is not very good for Angular, because Angular gives a very particular way to use services. So I'm going to make a service ng generate service, and the service name is server service. You can if you're using a older version, you can type ng generate server as before ng generate component name. Okay, I'm going to generate this service. Okay, in here, getting the service. This injectable these syntaxes are very important. This is a directives, as using in component directive. This in injectable directive are very useful, because we are injecting these values. So how to use these services? So in this service I'm going to declare a function. Let's say get some function. I'm going to pass two numbers. It is a number variable and mb2, also a number, and it will return summation of two numbers. Sorry, now you here. Okay, now how we going to use this service? To do that, we're going to get back to app component ts. In app component ts file, we can use a instance of that service service. I told you that is not a good way to use the service. So now I'm going to show you what is the best way to use the service. In the component directive, let's say providers, and I'm going to give the provider name, the service name. I'm sorry, I already used the service twice. That's not necessary. Anyway, service name, and I'm going to have to import this. I can import this like from okay, it's good. Now we can use this service in here, and I'm gonna have to declare a instance. To do that, I need the constructor, and I'm going to use create an instance from service, say service, and its type is service. So service. Now we have a global instance. This is a global instance. We can use this instance from another child component. If you're using this service in another child component, if you again declare an instance like this, you will override this instance because this is the global instance. You don't have to declare another instance. You can use this, or if you want to override another this instance, that's fine. Okay, now you can use this instance to get some function. I'm declaring third property. I'm going to get the instance I created and call the function, and given two numbers, right? I given 2 and 4. So like that, I'm using the service to get this function, and I can use this value 3 in app component HTML. So I'm going using h3 tag, and I'm going to bind this property like this. So this should work, right? Let's check it out. No errors. Let's check it out. Yes, 2 plus 4 6. So that's how this thing works. So that's how basically works those input and output decorators and services. So I hope you get the knowledge you need, the basic knowledge you need. So I hope you practice with this knowledge and get a good result. Thank you. I see you in the next video. Good luck.